en el sur de España, y lo utilizo precisamente esto para demostrar que en España no todo el mundo habla con la Z así, no. Que hay variedades, que hay una riqueza de lenguajes, de acentos, de entonaciones, que enriquece el español y que son tan válidas como los demás. Esta es una variedad del español que se utiliza en España, es el andaluz, y que se ridiculiza típicamente, es decir, utilizar este acento se ve como de clase social baja, tener poca cultura, de ser poco educado, etcétera, etcétera. Este prejuicio no es exclusivo ni del inglés, ¿verdad?, ni del castellano, ¿verdad? Es un prejuicio que muchas veces todos podemos adquirir. Nuestra función es decir, no, son simplemente diferentes maneras de hablar. Y aparte, como dijo nuestra amiga, vale, sí, hablando de las... para entender el lenguaje académico, ¿verdad?, necesitamos el lenguaje social. Y les voy a dar ciertos ejemplos de por qué es esencial el mezclar ambos conceptos, el lenguaje social, el lenguaje social y el lenguaje académico, para poder manejársela. Y estas son algunas fotos que he tomado de internet y otras las tomé. Por ejemplo, estuve en España en el verano y vi ahí un restaurante que tenía este cartel fuera. Decía, hoy viernes, el plato más largo, arroz. ¿Por qué es el más largo? ¿Por qué creen? Porque empieza por la A y acaba por la Z. Pues claro, evidentemente, ¿verdad? Vidrios, esto es de México. Vidrios, lo escribimos mal. Vidrio como quieras, pónmelo bien en la casa, que es lo que quiero, ¿verdad? No hagan esto no lo hagan, pero voy a cambiar. Es otro cartel de la influencia de un restaurante. Cena romántica, yo lo voy a cambiar. Invita a cenar a tu marido, novio o amante. Y si los traes a los tres juntos, no pagas. Igual cobras. ¿Verdad? La sofisticación para entender este mensaje es realmente buena, ¿verdad? Tienes que saber las cosas que tienes que cobrar, ¿verdad? ¿Quién nos va a pagar? Etcétera, etcétera. Y bueno, y el último, que es mi favorito, y la última vez lo utilizo mucho. No te metas en mi vida, sí, vida, porque es mi vida y yo la escribo como se me da la gana. Pues eso, es mi vida, es mi vida. Este es el marco con el que nosotros empezamos a manejar el español con estos maestros. De aquí, esta concepción del español, como tenemos que partir de los que todos be rigorous. Show, okay, this is useful for this. I'm going to show you the usefulness of other approaches. That's being rigorous, in my opinion. So that's how we started with teachers. So, what was the initial problems that we started? Well, as we said, first of all, we understood that this was not the teacher's fault. Esta no era la culpa de los maestros, el que ellos tuvieran esta inseguridad con el español. Pero en realidad, ¿verdad?, estos preocupaciones with the lack of preparation of bilingual teachers has been going on. In the 80s, actually, there are studies that have already predicted we're not going to have enough bilingual teachers in this country. And it's because the way language preparations were set. So there's a lack of preparation programs to effectively serve the growing population of bilingual students. And in our study, this was found out as well. So it's consistent with previous research. Many, 100% of these teachers, and I'll reinforce it later, did not take a single course in Spanish, not one. In the US, those that had taken the courses, and we'll talk about it later, they did it in other areas, but not one single course was required in a language that was not English for their bilingual endorsement. That's a shame. And this is a shame in higher education. I got a bilingual endorsement, okay, what language you speak? I don't know. Like English, that's the language I speak, okay. That's a bilingual endorsement, right? So, finally, the growth of bilingual programs in schools throughout the nation is actually exacerbating this need for bilingual teachers. It's really growing. Dual language programs, and I'm happy about it, like in Indiana and in other states that traditionally did not believe in language education, right? Now, they're making programs all over the place. They're establishing, developing dual language programs all over the place. And they need these teachers. And they need to be prepared. Right? That's the whole frame of our studies. So this is the context. This was a school district, as I mentioned, in the suburbs of Chicago, in the West Chicagoland. And this district had 84% Latino students. Look at that. 84% of the student population is Latino. So, and 74% of them are free and reduced lunch, and 35% of those are bilingual students. So, now I'm asking you, what type of español, ¿verdad? Do our students speak? Do they speak Castellano? Oh no, they don't speak Castellano. So why are we putting them down? Why are we perceiving our students like they have no language? Because obviously they don't speak English, and we regard them as they don't speak Spanish as well, because they have to speak Castellano, and obviously they don't speak Castellano, right? That's not what they do. And this district, again, is not a dual language program, and this is also important to say. I think this is applicable to dual language programs because it's about teacher preparation mainly, and their perception, that they are not a dual language program. However, they adopted the literacy framework from grades K to 5. The first year, we worked with their teachers, K through 3. This year, we're doing 4 through really middle school. So they've expanded a little bit over there. So, and they did this in the past 5 years. In the project last year, in which this is based, and again, your comments are very welcome because it's in progress still. So there are 25 bilingual teachers, Spanish students participated, right? 22 of them were female, which is normal, right? And 3 male teachers. So the average years of experience for this cohort of 25 teachers was 12 years. So they were like, some of these teachers had been in the district for a long time, some of them actually were in their 3rd year. So, but that's the average number of years. And finally, all of them indicated that they had not completed Spanish course, not one course, during their teacher preparation program or during their bilingual endorsement certification. And I was thinking, what a joke. You end up a bilingual endorsement and you didn't take a single course in that language. In the target language, in this case, Spanish. So how was our design? We did this. So we had 4 all-day academic Spanish training workshops. These workshops were completely in Spanish. No English was used at all in these workshops. And we did it throughout the school year. We planned 4 different sessions throughout the school year. So, and the focus of these workshops were the Spanish grammatical structures, syntax, and text analysis. And we asked them to do a video lesson project in Spanish. Basically, I'll explain a little bit more later, but what we asked them to do is to develop a lesson plan in Spanish and present it to their peers, not to the students, but using the language and focusing on the language that they would use while in class. That was the idea. Okay, what is the unit you're going to be doing in March? So we start today, in November. By March, you have to choose that unit and prepare 1 lesson plan. We only require 1. We didn't want to stress them out. 1 thing that's going to be useful for you in Spanish, and you're going to present it to your peers. And then finally, we administer an open-ended questionnaire at the end of this school year to evaluate the students, to see, okay, how do you feel now? And that was the perception about how they feel. Because again, that I want to emphasize too. The proficiency, it wasn't my evaluation, you know, because as smart as I think I am, I don't think I could evaluate anyone's Spanish, especially if a teacher, you know. But it was their own perception about their proficiency. This is what they said, they thought, you know, their Spanish was. So, what were the objectives? Los objetivos del taller, ¿verdad? Eran estos. So, iniciar una reflexión sistemática, and this was shared with all of them. All the teachers knew this. This was the goals of this year-long training. So, iniciar una reflexión sistemática sobre la lengua y su uso, mejorar la calidad del español que enseñamos en la instrucción de todas las materias, ¿verdad? Interpretar discursos orales, escritos, procedentes de diversos ámbitos, por eso el text analysis, right, in Spanish, y expresarlos oralmente por escrito mediante discursos coherentes y concretos, creativos y adecuados a las diversas situaciones de comunicación y las diferentes finalidades comunicativas. If you think about it, what I did was align these objectives with the common core strategies. That's what I did. I said, okay, this is what the students need to learn. How are we going to demonstrate that teachers also can do this if they feel insecure about it? So, I'm running a little bit because I realize that we have like 20 minutes, but I want to leave some space for questions and some discussions. So these were our findings. First of all, the overall intimidation, especially during the initial phases of the Spanish workshops. 2 reasons here, right? 1, because their own hesitation about their use of Spanish. But second of all, and this is important, because they were intimidated by me. They felt that I was going to be judgmental about their Spanish. They really did. They thought, oh, this is a Castilian guy. Let's be honest, right? It doesn't matter that it's a Mexican. They know I'm Castilian. So that's the thing. So they also felt intimidated for that. They felt they were going to be judged, like our students are judged, because they've been judged, and they understand that, and it shows later in the other findings. We're going to see it. So they were intimidated about that. So my first sort of like goal was to create a culture of trust. I'm not here to judge your language. That's why it was essential to start with that presentation, questioning the Spanish structure. This is not about one Spanish. Fortunately, we speak Spanishes, right? Many, very richness, right? And we want to add to it. So that was the first sort of thing that you need to do with your teachers. Build that trust too. If you're going to work with them on proficiency, make sure they know you're not going to judge them about it. That you are not saying that this is inferior or this is superior. It's just another mechanism. You have to improve in the instruction and ultimately looking at the students, that those are the ones that matter. So then teachers do understand actually the need to continue their literacy development in Spanish. They knew it. And they know the importance of knowing, of being aware of the formal structure of the Spanish language to be effective teachers. They know it. But they haven't had the chance to become it. But they're aware of it. They definitely know it. That it's essential for me to be a good teacher to know these formal structures. Otherwise, I'm not being that effective. I may be a good teacher, but I'm not that effective. I can be more effective if I'm aware of those structures. And then ultimately, that they need more professional opportunities to build the academic Spanish, and more recognition in the school administrative structures. And this is essential too, right? Because we see some dual languages, that the only place where a language other than English is happening is in the classroom. But you walk out of the classroom and there's nothing. Or maybe a couple of signs here and there in the corridors, right? In Spanish, like, bienvenidos. Wow, great, we feel good about it. No, we need to challenge that. What staff meetings are happening in Spanish? How is Spanish used with the principal? With the assistant superintendent? Are we promoting a discourse, right, of a student in Spanish in front of the rest of the school, whether they speak Spanish or not? Why not? Why not? We're not doing these things, right? Why not? Right? And I'm thinking of that because of beautiful spirits that believe in Puebla, those that come to the school Eros Nacosari. I don't know, well, the center where I work, part of that center is Literacy Square. Literacy Square organizes a beautiful, actually, workshop, 5-day workshop in Puebla, Mexico. And as part of the welcome to the school, we were a student. How old was she? She was like second grade, exactly. Well, she delivered a speech that, I mean, my jaw dropped. I mean, it's like, what was better than mine? I said a few words and I was like embarrassed, like this little girl there. Like, she did unbelievable, right? Those that we were present, Kathy was there too. It was impressive, you know, the oral skills, you know, the language that she used, the students, you know, the vocabulary, it was unbelievable. Why aren't we doing that in our dual language program? Why are we showing off what students are able to do in 2 languages? Beyond the classroom, again, beyond the classroom. Those structures are completely necessary. The same thing of those professional development opportunities only in Spanish, focused in Spanish. Not necessarily about Spanish language development. It could be about culture. It could be about any other, it could be about math, but in Spanish. And those are opportunities that are needed if you want to run an effective, equitable dual language program. Your teachers need that. Need to go to trainings, to professional development in Spanish in their content area too. What were the perceptions about their Spanish proficiency? And actually, I'm so happy that someone said that before when we were starting the workshop. This is a quote from one of the teachers that I used. Para mí, el aspecto más difícil para aprender y enseñar es la gramática. La razón es porque no tuve educación formal en español. Solamente hablar con mi familia me ayudó a mantener y aprender el español. Efectivamente, este es el caso de muchos de nuestros maestros de español, especialmente los que son de Estados Unidos, criados por familias que hablaban el español, sean inmigrantes o no, porque eso también lo tenemos que recordar. Y esta es my bold statement, you know, but I'm going to say it here. Spanish is as much of a foreign language in the US as English. And I mean, you can disagree with me, but I think I have reasonable arguments to say this bold statement. For example, if we talk historically Spanish was spoken in New Mexico before English. Before English was spoken in Virginia, it was spoken in Spanish in New Mexico. So, Are you telling me because what? Because of imposition, right? That's the difference. Because of colonization, because of power, but not because of any other reason. So I'm not the only one saying this, actually, I borrowed from others, but I do argue that Spanish is not necessarily a foreign language in the US. It is not. It is not. If we don't consider English a foreign language, we don't consider Spanish. Otherwise, we can talk Navajo, Apache, or Nahuatl. Okay, yeah, then yes, then I would say definitely Spanish is a language of a colonization too. So, and they did a good job actually too with the people in Latin America, right, imposing that language, Spanish. But anyway, pero la realidad de nuestros maestros es que ellos han aprendido el español en su casa, pero no han tenido oportunidades por el sistema educativo en Estados Unidos de desarrollar el lenguaje, los aspectos formales del lenguaje, porque ellos hablan español, como yo, también como yo, tan respetablemente como cualquiera, pero esos aspectos formales necesitan ayuda. And what is the help that they're not receiving? That at the same time, as we said before, they did not take a single course in Spanish, right? And they'll agree, you know, that they needed to teach, to be taught how to teach in Spanish and about the Spanish language, that they need more opportunities to develop those practices. Most of them were doing it as they went, especially the novice teachers. They were learning it in their own classroom at that moment. So, the other thing that came up very quickly is the lack of academic resources in Spanish. You know, both of them struggled with professional learning opportunities, and actually, for the majority of them, the professional development opportunity that we were, the workshop that we were doing together, was the first opportunity only in Spanish, exclusively in Spanish. So, a large majority of the teachers, they said, no, this is the first time that I have a workshop completely in Spanish. No English at all. So, and then in the classroom resources in Spanish, which I got another quote that says, this is one of my biggest problems. It is hard to bring or find resources. I have spent a lot of time creating what I believe are kid-friendly worksheets and with exercise from practice. Ultimately, teachers rely on online resources to develop academic Spanish in the classroom, and also in collaboration. And guess what? Those structures were informal, so the collaboration were among them, because the school was not providing any sort of formalized, space to foster collaboration between them. So they needed to go informally and say, hey, I'm doing this with my students. What did you use? What did you use to teach this or that, right? What did you use to teach fractions in Spanish? And they will both share it, because the lack of resources is evident. So, and these are some of the insights into the roles of the bilingual teacher, bilingualism, and Spanish in the schools, right? So first of all these teachers demonstrated their commitment to the students' success, and they were critically aware, of the bilingual programs and the bilingualism. They were critically aware that they were actually put in a second place, like their students. So they knew, right, that they were not respected necessarily as they should, right? And that bilingual education was sort of like, okay, there's this remedial program going on over there. And yeah, we're fine, when we open to the public space, but internally, the structures do not show that they're receiving this respect, So, and again, as I mentioned before, all of them agreed that they wanted to see Spanish beyond their classrooms, because that's mostly what they were used to, just seeing Spanish in the classrooms with their colleagues. That's it. But outside of the schools, Spanish were not going to be seen. And they also thought that that was the message to their students. So students, when they just have Spanish in the classroom, but when they go outside, Spanish is nowhere to be found. These students also, right, get an impression about Spanish that is, well, the important language again is English. That's it. That's the important language. And it doesn't matter how you Spanish. So these are my conclusions, my full statements, and hopefully we have a few minutes to talk. And basically that's utilizing this cross-language strategy, right, facilitates the development of learners, metalinguistic awareness within and across languages. So when teachers know and implement, right, linguistic structures in Spanish and English, this facilitates the understanding of both languages, the development of this metalinguistic awareness, and actually the integration of both languages, because that's another thing that we believe, right? Languages do not need to be taught sequentially. because you can teach them at the same time. Actually, we should be teaching them at the same time, right? English and Spanish. So, and then when bilingual teachers feel insecure or lack the skills in both languages, right, both English and Spanish, they may not make the most appropriate decisions in planning lessons or choosing instructional approaches. And this is something that we saw when they were presenting the lesson plan. It was very easy for these teachers to transition into English the moment that they found some sort of like insecurity about a word. Just a word would throw them off. Like, how do you say this? They would start like asking their colleagues, and then immediately go into English. You know? So that's because of their security that they found in English, that it was not felt in Spanish, right? So it's evident that for programs that want to develop both Spanish and English, they need to transform the role of Spanish both within and outside of the classroom, you know, and they need the appropriate support and resources for teachers to do so. And finally, you know, there is a need to enhance the service, preparation, and in-service professional development of bilingual teachers in the areas of fluency, vocabulary, language structures, and grammar. And just let me finish with three final recommendations. First is that we need to create in our dual language programs, in our bilingual programs, spaces, you know, to build resources to challenge this deficit-oriented thinking to our bilingual students, you know, and our bilingual teachers as well. We need to do that. So, and then our schools need to develop and implement specific strategies to elevate the status of the native language, whatever the native language is, in our case, Spanish. And honestly, this is a plan that needs to be put in favor, right? And especially the role of the bilingual teachers by supporting them as they also build their own capacity in Spanish. And finally, you know, this is for people like me that work in higher education institutions, is that we need to review the plans to incorporate what bilingual teachers need in the classroom, specifically, right, to contribute to develop the linguistic skills of the bilingual teacher candidates. They need to feel more secure about the Spanish they use in the classroom. So with that, I'm done. I hope you enjoyed it, and we have time for questions, comments, whatever you want to tell me over here. So, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Yeah.
So I would propose that to add onto all of the what you listed as needs that we have is that we also have good teaching grammar to English-speaking students.
Okay.
So they're not deeply grounded in English, and all of a sudden now they have to teach in places where they have to know deep structures of grammar in two languages, and many times they don't know one, because in high schools in the U.S. now we no longer teach grammar.
That's an excellent point. Yeah.
So there's no, I mean, the ability. One of the things that's helped a lot of us is that we knew grammar in one language, so when we learned the second language, it was a matter of adding on to what we already know. And now, I'm not saying that these young people are clueless, it's just that it was taken out of the curriculum of studies.
Yeah, and you are absolutely right. Just let me talk to Kathy 1 second, because we had a good conversation about this, and the result actually was not necessarily you need to teach formal grammar to your students, especially in the early grades, like a K through third grade. And we were talking specifically about the las reglas de acentuación, right? La tilde in español. So we were like, how are you going to go to a second grader and put palabras agudas, esdrújulas, right? Doesn't make any sense to them. What we thought it was essential is for the teacher to know. So that teacher implemented the right strategies, be by, I don't know, like by visual memorization, for example, right? Strategies. By el dictado, by using el dictado, etc. But it was the teacher that really needed that deep knowledge about the structure. The teacher really needed to know the rules, you know, and the exceptions of las reglas de acentuación in español, right? And that made them more effective in their lesson plan. That was the spirit. So it's like, regardless, obviously, you're not going to teach these rules per se to your students. You knowing them will help you with planning so that your students actually grasp why or where we thought being that explicitly grammatical. So yeah, we got here and then there.
I think just that, going on that, is that if they know that deeply in both, it just is easier when you come across a translanguaging opportunities. You know it so well that you're able to address it and how that then is either similar or different in the partner language. And you're right, they don't have a lot of support with their training even as students, but I will counter that if you have a program. Programs are written for English language instruction. If I'm a first grade or second grade or third grade teacher, my program was set out to say, teach this here, this here. When you look at the Spanish, it's not that deep, and they're teaching the very, my teachers are finding that they're teaching the icebergs very separate.
Totally.
And so this total difference, like, okay, let's switch to Spanish and learn these structures. Let's switch to English and learn these structures when I don't know them very well. And then you are not making that connection in your future. And so I counter with a lot of our publishers need to understand and support with this, because we had Maravillas and Adelante, and neither one of them did this.
They don't. And I'm going to give you an example of an aha moment for all the teachers. Relative pronouns and interrogative pronouns. They're the same in English and in Spanish, but they're used so differently. And the expectations are so different. What is a random sentence in English, it is not in Spanish. It is not in Spanish. And actually, you're encouraged to use relative pronouns. But you should have seen these faces. When we were trying to determine if a Kaye has a tilde, right, an accent mark or not, basically that's a relative pronoun or an interrogative pronoun, an indirect interrogative pronoun, right? They were so challenged. And at some point, they said, okay, let's translate them into it. Let's compare them to you. And then immediately they were like, wow. That was the translanguaging bridge moment, right? And I said, you don't need to wait until the end of the lesson to come back and say, let's go now and do this bridge over here. No. Present it as it is. These guys already understand, you know, what, how much, that, right, when, where is used in the middle of a sentence, and you are not asking a question. So when you are presenting this in Spanish, attach it to that language, anchor it, because that's going to be effective. But you are right. Nobody had ever presented these to them in this way. So thank you for that comment. You had another comment there.
Well, I have a couple. So, you know, one is, what are the resources that are out there to help our teachers, that our teachers can turn to learn some of this? Because I found that they're well aware that there are a lot of things they don't know about grammar and how to, and therefore they feel very comfortable teaching it, and they don't know how to make the links. But I don't know what resources are out there. So one sort of useful thing in the field would be to figure out, to find a resource, you know, or resources.
Thank you. You're right. Maybe I should have included a slide, right? In the BUENO Center, we have some, and I don't want to be self-promoting here. But I want to be, you know, the BUENO Center you know, and we have a group that works on development, literacy development and Spanish language development, so you can come see us, yeah.
No, and the other thing what is related to that is that, you know, I think a lot of districts feel, well, we'd like to support our teachers, our bilingual teachers with CPD, but, you know, they have to recreate the wheel to organize that PD. What does it need to include? So again, if you found that if there's a menu already out there, we need to be sharing this.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, there's limited time and resources, and districts won't do it because it takes too much time and resources.
Very good action, yeah. Thank you. Yes. Any other back?
I want to comment a little bit on the lack of resources. I teach a course at DLeNM, and I recently made the statement to my students that a lack of resources can be sort of an accidental gift to you. Because, as someone just pointed out, the publishing